Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1794, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Who filmed the assassination of President John F. Kennedy? Abraham Zapruder. In 1999, 20% of all tourists visiting the United States came from which country? Japan. What is the capital of the Caribbean nation known for its pink sand beaches and annual crop over festival? Bridgetown. Which famous ancient statue was discovered on the Greek island of Melos in 1820? Venus de Milo. What is a group of rooks called? A building, also called a clamor. According to legend, under what type of tree did Alexander the Great's entire army reportedly take shelter? Banyan tree. What was the name of the large, extinct, flightless bird that was native to Mauritius? Dodo. Who was the first Catholic president of the United States? John F. Kennedy. The Bay of Naples and the Gulf of Salerno are inlets of which sea? Tyrrhenian Sea. The duodenum and jejunum are two parts of the small intestine. What is the third section called? Ileum. By what nickname is the Spanish hero Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar better known? El Cid. In chess, including castling, up to how many squares can a king move in a single move? 2. Which cat-themed musical became Broadway's longest-running show? Cats. Who became the first movie star to be paid $1 million for a single film in Ichido sign? Elizabeth Taylor. Which Australian airline is famous for its long safety record and is widely cited as never having had a fatal jet airliner accident? Qantas. Which constellation is represented by a set of scales? Libra. Who wrote Crazy, the song famously performed by Patsy Cline? Willie Nelson. Which U.S. state features the telephone area code 501? Arkansas. Which character did Fred Savage portray on The Wonder Years? Kevin Arnold. What is the total number of jumps in the Grand National Horse Race? 30. What is the technique called in which patients monitor and attempt to change their own bodily functions? Biofeedback. Which vegetable is traditionally used to make the Swiss dish rusty? Potatoes. In what year was the first battery-powered home smoke detector marketed by Duane Pearsall? 1969. Which seed, available in black or white varieties, produces an oil that resists rancidity? Sesame. Who was the first athlete to star in his own animated cartoon series? Muhammad Ali. The antler cells of which animal are the fastest growing animal cells in nature? Deer. During which war did the phrase, "they shall not pass," originate? World War I. In what year did U.S. astronauts perform the first U.S. spacewalk since 1974 during the Space Shuttle Challenger mission STS-6? 1983. Which song performed by Frank Sinatra was used as John F. Kennedy's 1960 presidential campaign theme? High Hopes. Because the emu and the kangaroo cannot walk backwards, they appear on Australia's what? Answer: coat of arms. What is the second highest mountain in Africa? Mount Kenya. What post-mortem change causes long-necked dinosaur fossils to appear with their heads pulled back over their bodies? Answer: post-mortem drying and contraction of ligaments and tendons, desiccation, producing the characteristic death pose. Which town in southern France gave the House of Orange its name? Answer: Orange, the town of Orange in Provence, southern France. In classical mythology, Cronus, Kronos in Greek, and Saturn, Saturnus in Roman tradition were gods of what? Agriculture, the harvest. Which area of the human body has the highest concentration of sweat glands? Answer: the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet, especially the soles. What material is commonly used to make traditional Asian conical rice hats? Bamboo. Which comic strip about an inept army private was once banned from the U.S. military newspaper Stars and Stripes? Beetle Bailey. Which organ is primarily responsible for processing and excreting bilirubin in the human body? Liver. Who was the chief designer of the Hawker Hurricane? Sir Sidney Cam. Which country uses the Egyptian pound as its official currency? Egypt. What type of animal is a boto found in the Amazon River? Dolphin. Who wrote the novella The Old Man and the Sea? Ernest Hemingway. In which country did gin originate? The Netherlands. What is the name of the special court that has jurisdiction over maritime matters? Admiralty Court. In Hawaiian, what does the name Honolulu mean? Sheltered harbor. What was the colonial name of Guinea-Bissau? Answer: Portuguese Guinea. Which variety of apple appears on the Beatles' Apple Records logo? Granny Smith. Which Australian rock band had a hit with the song Need You Tonight? In Excess. In a classical era symphony, what is the traditional name of the third movement? Answer: minuet, often a minuet in trio. Laika was the first dog to do what? Orbit the Earth. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.